Hi, Simon from Apply here, and today I wanted to take you through how you can add a calendar event to your calendar, in this case Google Calendar, but it could work for other calendar softwares, in this case, a settlement date, or you could do this for any date which you're adding into ActiveCampaign. To start off with, you will need to use Zapier to get this job done. So you can sign up for the free Zapier account. With a free account, you get up to 5 Zaps. That'll be plenty for what we're going to do here. So to set that up, what we do is jump in. This is the screen you'll be presented with once you've created your account. And so the first thing we need to do is link your applications to Zapier. To do that, so we need to link 2 applications. We need to link ActiveCampaign and also your calendar software. So you just jump in the box here, search for ActiveCampaign. It's come up. And then in ActiveCampaign itself, you just need to jump into Settings and then Developer. And once you're in the Developer tab, if I can find it, there it is. You copy the URL, paste that across, and also copy your API key and paste that across. Once we continue, we've now set up our new account, and I'm just going to rename it because I've got a couple of accounts. So I don't want to get confused about which one I'm using. And then we add our calendar software. So we've got Google Calendar. Now I'm already signed into Google, so I don't think I'll need to put in my password. No, I don't. So just give it access. And now we've added Google Calendar and our ActiveCampaign. So now what we want to do is actually create the Zap. So to create the Zap, we just click on this orange button, make a Zap, and it's very similar to the automations in ActiveCampaign. Essentially, what you'll be doing is as it says, when this happens, do this. So in this case, we want to set it up so when the settlement date is selected in ActiveCampaign, that the calendar event gets created in your calendar. So to do that, we're going to use something called a webhook. The simplest way of thinking about a webhook, it's like an SMS between 2 different pieces of software. So if you jump in and choose a trigger as new automation webhook, just select your account. And now we're given this URL. So if we copy this URL, we'll jump across into ActiveCampaign, and we're going to create a automation. So as a start trigger, we want when the settlement date is added or updated to ActiveCampaign, that's when we want to create the event in your calendar. So to do that, I'm going to use when field changes, and we're going to choose the field date, which is going to be settlement date, which is this one here. And we're going to do it from any value to any value, and we're going to do it runs every time it's added or updated. Then what we do is we jump in this search and search for webhook. Now I've got a webhook in here, and I've just pasted that URL from here across, and then we just need to end the actual automation. So end this automation, and we need to make sure it's active. Now you see here it's got an option to test and review. So what we need to do from our side is just to trigger this webhook. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump into one of my contacts, and I'm actually going to update the settlement date under the current transaction. So here we are. So I'm just going to update the settlement date to the end of the month and hit save. Now that will trigger the webhook in the background. So if I click test and review, we can see here's the data which just pulled in, and you can see if we find the email address that this is the same contact as this, and you can actually also see the settlement date in here if I can find it. Here, the settlement date, as we said, we set it up in ActiveCampaign for the 31st. So now we can click done editing, and now we need to add our step to actually add the calendar. So we've already added our app, our Google Calendar. So, it's going to be create detailed event is the action. And then just select your account. The calendar is going to be your calendar. And the summary, I'm going to call it settlement for, and then I'm going to add a sort of some dynamic text, which is going to be the contact's first name and the contact's last name. You might want to chuck in the settlement address or anything else in there. Whatever you prefer, you can set that up. I'm going to leave the description and location empty. For start date, we're going to use the actual settlement date, so we can use the search function here to find that a bit quicker. So there it is, and it's also got the data that we push through. And I'm going to do this 9 a.m. AEST for Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you need other formatting options, if you click any of these links, it'll give you the sort of formatting options which you can use. In this case, I'm going to set it from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. to show up in my calendar. We obviously don't want it to repeat. We don't want an all-day event. I'm going to change the color to something so it stands out. And you may want to invite admin staff. In this case, I won't invite anyone else. The other thing I want to do is I want to set this so it shows up as, it doesn't actually make me look as busy, because I have people book into my calendar using Calendly. You might be using Schedule 1, Acuity, other things like that, which are checking your calendar. So you don't want, this isn't really an event that you need to look busy for. So I'm going to choose show me as free, and now we can click continue. The final thing, this will give us an option to test it. So all we do to test it, we've got that set up. So if I jump in here and go to my calendar, I'll need to refresh the page. And we go to the 31st, you can see that it's added the settlement in there. So now we turn this app on, and what I would do just to test it is I'm just going to jump into Active Campaign one more time. I'll choose a different contact, and what I might do, just so we can tell, I'm just going to change this contact's name to test, just so I know that it's definitely working. And I'm going to add a settlement date here, and I'll add the settlement date for the 1st of November. And save that. Now if we jump back into our calendar, that should, there we go. So we can see that it's picking up all the dynamic content, it's adding the date in there, everything's working as expected. Now that that's set up, you are free to go. You don't need to think about it again. Every time that settlement date is added or updated, it'll chuck that in your calendar. Simon Moore from Apply here. I'll include a link down below to book a one-on-one with me, and also a link to book a demo if you'd like to check out what we offer in more detail. Thanks so much.